Hi everyone, if you're new here, my name is Sarah, and this channel is all about literature, writing, all about pop culture, politics, and more. So if you're new here, hello, and I hope you do enjoy this video. I do apologize, I have not been here within the past 3 weeks or so. I haven't uploaded since then because I just recovered from a very intense surgery for endometriosis, which I think I will end up planning on talking about what endometriosis actually is, because a lot of people do not really understand what endometriosis is, and it's not very discussed as much as it should be. But it was a very painful recovery for me. I'm still recovering, and I really wasn't myself for a good three weeks. I am much better now, as I'm actually able to film a video. But yeah, so that will be for a later time though. I want to focus today though on Emily Dickinson, as you have seen in the introduction. So Emily Dickinson is my favorite poet of all time. I was introduced to her in college when I was getting my Bachelor's of Arts in Creative Writing. So I graduated in 2024, and I earned my Bachelor's of Arts in Creative Writing. I did take multiple literature classes as a requirement for my degree for writing, and with these classes, I was introduced to Emily Dickinson, and I fell in love with her poetry. Before Emily Dickinson, I was not a poet. I only wrote fiction, and I never really completed anything, but now I write both. I write poetry and I write fiction. For the poetry, I was really inspired by Emily Dickinson's poems because we think alike, I think. I think about a lot of the things that she used to think about when she was writing poetry. So I think we're kind of connected in that way, spiritually speaking. And funnily enough, I had a dream last night about analyzing a poem of Emily Dickinson's. I was upset when I woke up because I never got to finish, my subconscious never got to finish analyzing the poem in the dream. But I do remember what poem it was, and I wanted to discuss it here on this channel and finish the analyzation that was happening in my dream. So, and this poem that was being analyzed in my dream is called I Felt a Funeral in My Brain, and it's number 340. So I find it very interesting. All of Emily Dickinson's poems are numbered, and it's because she never actually, I don't think she ever actually officially titled her poems. They were all scholars assumed that the first line would be the title of the poem. So that's how that happened, I believe. So there are two things that I wanted to discuss with this poem, and I'm not gonna dive deep into the entire thing. I just want to focus on these two things that I find incredibly interesting, and what my subconscious was really thinking about, and things like that. So let's get to it. Okay, so in my dream, I was hyper-focused on the word choices of brain and mind. So she uses both of those terms, brain in the first stanza and then mind in the second stanza. They both mean two different things, even though they are connected and are also the same thing. So I wanted to define both of these terms before I get into the analyzation part of it. So I didn't go into any important definition place. I just went to Google, as that was the easiest thing to do. So I will define both of these from Google. Google says that the definition of brain, it's a noun, and it is an organ of soft neural tissue contained in the skull of vertebrates, functioning as the coordinating center of sensation and intellectual and nervous activity. And then the second definition is intellectual capacity. So here, really, the brain is the actual brain, like the thing that's inside our skull, and the substance that it's made of. So that's what the brain definition is, which we all know. It's an obvious thing, but I just wanted to talk about it. So the word mind is also a noun, and I find it interesting because it is defined as the element of a person that enables them to be aware of the world and their experiences. I'm sorry, my dog is whining. Rosie, it's okay. To think and to feel the faculty of consciousness and thought. And number 2 is a person's intellect. So mind is really the process of thinking and feeling, of being aware. So that's kind of how, like, they're connected. Like, without the brain, you wouldn't have the mind, because they're interconnected. Rosie, come here! Rosie! Oh, she went by my door. Okay, so those are the 2 definitions. Okay, so now we're going to get further into the analysis here. So, we're talking about brain versus mind. In the first stanza, she deliberately chooses the word brain, and I think that's a very interesting choice. Rosie, hon, stop whining. It's okay. Okay. So she says in stanza 1, I felt a funeral inside my brain, and mourners to and fro kept treading till it seemed that scene was breaking through. Is it a serene or scene? That serene was breaking through? I don't know. I think I wrote it down wrong. But you get my gist about what the first stanza was. Rosie! Come here, honey. Come here. You're fine. She doesn't like being in my room for some reason. Rosie! Rosie! Come here. It's because my mom is outside raking leaves. And she doesn't like that my mom is outside raking leaves. Because she wants to be outside too. She's not. Huh, Rosie? Yeah. Okay. So, in this first stanza, she deliberately chooses brain because I believe she wanted something very concrete to have in there, and she wanted something that the reader or listener could, like, almost feel physically or, like, see in their own mind as they were reading or listening to the poem. And the brain isn't just an, like, abstract concept. It's a messy, dense, living organ literally inside of us. Even just thinking about it kind of creeps me out a bit sometimes, knowing that the brain is thinking about itself. It's kind of ironic. It's literally like bringing chills up my spine as I talk about it. Rosie! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness. Rosie, what are you doing? She is... Say hi! You say hi to camera? No? Okay. I tried. Okay. But for the word brain specifically, I think that, again, it's something concrete that the reader or listener can grasp onto. And I think it also amplifies the beginning part where she's talking about having a funeral inside the brain. So it just brings out the chaos of it all. So, and then she goes into talking about, like, mourners and things like that, which leads me to believe that she could be potentially talking about brain death in the first sentence or of the stanza or phrase in the stanza, because, like, it's brain death happens very slowly and it's very chaotic and violent. Almost, it's like, I'm in the medical field, so I don't really know how it happens, but I think that's what she could be describing there. I mean, she might just be using it as a metaphor as well for her own feelings inside of her, which is also probably the case as well. I had thoughts about that. But yeah, so basically, then again, I'm thinking, like, can you really have a funeral happening inside of your brain? Like, that's a question, an open-ended rhetorical question here that I am asking. As again, if she's talking about brain death, then possibility, yes. But if she is not talking about brain death, then as a metaphor, possibly is talking about love and loss, like losing people, experiencing almost kind of like an extreme, like almost a metaphor for grief itself, is something that it could be as well. And oftentimes you can even imagine what a funeral is like in your brain if you have that capacity to visualize. So there is that as well. So I would like you guys to comment down below your thoughts on what Emily means when she says, I felt a funeral in my brain. Do you guys think that she's talking about brain death? Do you think that she is talking about her own feelings inside of her? I'm sure there's like all kinds and types of interpretations out there on the internet and in university settings as well. But I just wanted to give my own thoughts on it, especially after I had that dream, and it's sort of like my mind telling me, you should definitely analyze this, and finish analyzing and thinking about it. So I wanted to do that. And then we have the second part as well, which is basically the mind here. So we'll get into that. Okay, now for the second stanza where she uses the term mind. And when they were all seated, a service, like a drum, kept beating, till I thought my mind was going numb. So there she uses the word mind and not brain. She uses the word mind after the word brain. So now, when she says my mind was going numb, I think this is an interesting word choice, as Google's definition really emphasizes the thinking and feeling aspect of the mind, and of being aware. So I think that she chose this word specifically because she wanted the readers to know that she was truly feeling numb and experiencing it in full. And I think that's why she chose those terms. Basically, that was all I had for this part of the analyzation. Again, I did not want to go through the rest of the poem yet. I may or may not. I just thought the brain and mind part of this poem was very interesting. And, yeah, so there's that. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about the brain versus mind aspect, in terms of if she chose it specifically for any certain reasons, or if it was just there, or if there's no reason at all. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear your thoughts. I hope you all have a great day / night wherever you are. Keep thinking, keep dreaming, keep creating, and all the above. Alright, see y'all next time. Bye.